results speak for themselves.
So Jimmy is back, Titan Medical Center, official Team Titan, and you've gotten some therapies and you've kind of went through the process of what we do here. So what do you think, Jimmy? Because, I mean, you know, you've been in this industry a long time. We were talking about it earlier. It's crazy.
You know, John, I question everything.
Should.
Okay, I'm old school,
course,
right? If it's not old school, it's no good, right?
Of course.
So got my package. I did everything you told me, took everything like you told me. And that MK-677.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah, dynamite, right?
I mean, took it in the morning. That night, I had eaten all my calories. And I'm like, nah, can't be. Okay. And then went to bed hungry.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time.
That's the worst.
But I didn't want to chance it, right? So the next morning I woke up, I went straight to the kitchen table, MK-677, and ate my first meal. Hour and a half later, I'm calling Tam, I'm like, hey, we got food? And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. And then I'm like Googling it and just trying to find some information. I'm like, there's no way something so simple.
Right.
It's really simple.
No, it really is.
Right? That can work so fast. But I'm also a guy who questions stuff.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So I'm saying, is this a placebo or not? Okay. It's been what, a week?
Yep.
My calories I'm up 1,500 calories.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a great increase.
Because of the food, my metabolism has increased. I've lost 3 inches on my waist.
Wow.
Because you know I'm getting ready for the show.
Of course.
Right? And I'm actually the same weight.
That's awesome.
And I'm saying to myself, I was actually gonna text you the other night and say, hey, can I take one in the morning and then one at night?
Technically, you probably could.
Can you?
Yeah, you probably could. You know, the thing with MK is awesome. It's a peptide, it's a GHRH peptide, growth hormone releasing hormone peptide.
Right.
So, you know, I was telling your wife, I was like, listen, you start increasing growth hormone levels, metabolism starts boosting, and the G-Relin, this is the only one out of the GHRH peptides where you truly get the stimulation of the G-Relin, the hunger hormone. And it's crazy. So it's something you can take for like 90 days. You will build up a sensitivity to it to that point, but you could take 25 in the morning and 25 at night, or split the dose, you know, so there's different ways you can do it. So if you really need that hunger aspect, maybe in one of those days or situations.
To me, and I think everybody who wants to build muscle, like I'm trying to be like if I was a spokesperson, which I am now, right? Because I'm actually living it. Whoever wants to gain muscle, they should be on MK-677.
For sure.
Like there's no doubt. Like the guys who come to me now, it's like, hey man, I want to build muscle. MK-677.
It's a good one. It's definitely a good one.
You know?
It's for those guys that need to eat, or girls. Like there's girls out there too that can't gain weight.
Whoever needs to build muscle. Absolutely. Because what builds muscle? Food.
Absolutely.
Right?
The only caveat that I ever tell anybody about MK, I'm like, because you're a totally different species, right? Where you're super committed to your meals and what you're gonna eat. Some people have no control, or they don't have anything planned. And if they take MK and they're in their house and they got 3 kids and they got donuts and Hostess and Twinkie, they just start ramming it all down. And of course, what's that gonna do? It's gonna do the opposite effect. So,
like we left this morning, right, to come here. And it's an hour and a half drive. I ate all my meals.
That's awesome.
You just ordered more food.
I just ordered more food for us.
You know?
Bulk chicken, baby, it's coming. Like, we gotta eat.
We're pulling in the parking lot, and I'm like, "Do we have any food?" She's like, "No." like to me, it's always the food.
Yeah.
You know, I retired because I was eating so much.
Yeah.
And now coming into this phase, I was like, man, I wish I could eat what I used to eat. Right? How stupid, how crazy I am. Right. And now it's like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
So, holy.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And I'm not doing this because of the video, guys. No. This is like, I mean, whoever knows me knows me. Like, I don't talk.
No, I don't.
And I'm like, this can't be true. And you know, Tammy's like, yeah, you know.
That's one thing. I like anybody I've ever talked to, even her or anybody else. MK is definitely on the plan if they're trying to gain muscle, they're trying to improve their strength, and they're raising growth hormone levels, which recovery, anti-aging, I mean, skin elasticity, everything goes along with that. So, I mean, it's a solid therapy. When we were talking about you doing Masters Olympia,
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, what's maybe some of the speed bumps, or what are the challenges we're trying to get through? I'm like, man, I can't get my couch down. I got exactly what you need. Like, somebody tells me that, like, especially if I know their discipline, I'm like, I know the game plan. We're gonna go this route first, start getting you going. So I'm super happy, you know. And of course, listen, this is all new, kind of new age, you know. And we were talking earlier where back in the day when you or some of the greats competed, didn't have some of these tools. And now there's a new age where now we can start incorporating some of these new tools with those old school methods.
I have to be honest with you. Back then, to increase my appetite, on record, I took a little insulin.
Okay.
Took a drop to get hungry.
Yep.
And there's a chance there, right? You're risking something there, right?
Of course.
Right? But now, like,
be healthy, monitor, you know what you're getting. I mean, you know, that's a good thing. There's no experimenting.
And my name on it, and I can travel with it. You know?
That's the main thing.
I don't have to go to it's like I said, it's not like I bought it from anywhere else. I've tried it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I know it's out there. And when I started taking it, it was to me like, why doesn't everybody take this? Who wants to build muscle? Like, anybody who's in the gym, to be honest with you, I don't know if there's an age limit, okay? Should be on MK-677 because it's food.
Yeah.
It helps you eat. Yeah, if you don't eat, you don't grow.
Absolutely not.
That's it. You can take any steroid you want. You can train as hard as you want. You can sleep as long as you want, okay?
It's true.
If you're not eating, you're not growing.
It's true. It's so true. It really is.
So to me, that's more important than anything.
Yeah.
And I freaking found the solution.
You know, I honestly, so we have it through pharmacies, prescribed in the patient's names, right? We know what we're gonna give the patient. They know what they're gonna get. But there's a lot of places out there that are selling these things over the counter. And when I encounter people and I talk to them about it and they tell me, well, I never got any, I'm like, well, where'd you get it from?
Right.
And they tell me, I'm like, well, that's your reason why. I'm like, listen, I was like, most of these places online with research chemical sites, you're not getting what you're supposed to be getting. Right. You might get a small dose, you might get a little bit, but at that point, they're never gonna get it. What they're gonna get from us.
I have a client that is getting ready for a show, and he's been taking MK. He came from somebody else, and I said, hey, let me know what you're taking, what you're doing.
Yeah.
And now that I know how MK-677, the MK, they call it MK, right?
Yeah, MK.
Okay.
Yep.
So I don't know, so I'm still saying the whole name.
It's all good.
Next week, I'll probably just call it MK. And he says, I'm taking MK, and I said, how's your appetite? He goes,
That's like,
and I said, and I turned around and I said, here's a link.
I mean, it's super simple and easy.
Here's a link, and that's why I asked you when I said, I texted you, and I said, hey, how can somebody come to you that might not need blood work, right. Or full hormone panel that can get peptides from you,
right?
And you sent me the link. I sent them. I said the new patient form, and he said, I filled it out, and I said, do what you got to do.
Right. You should be thanking you for that for sure.
Yeah.
He's gonna get something good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, that's another thing. With MK, there's no blood work that's needed. Somebody fills out the new patient paperwork, they see the medical provider, whether it's here or on telemedicine nationwide. So it's super simple for somebody to do. So if they're interested, I mean, if they're looking for the benefits that you're getting from it, it's a home run.
Anybody who wants to build muscle should be taking the MK-677.
I agree.
Period.
That's a good one.
Now, if you're getting fat on it, that means you're not eating the right food. Period. So there's a discipline side, right?
Of course.
The MK is going to give you the opportunity to eat.
Right.
You got to put that food to work.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And for the people that are, their self-control is there, it's a home run.
But then again, once you start seeing the results, right?
Yeah.
All of us. Once we see results, me included, you get more into it, right?
Of course.
You're motivated. You're like, okay, now I'm really gonna watch my diet. Now I'm really gonna watch my diet.
Right.
Before, like last week, I was eating those little tater tots, okay, just to throw them in my food, right?
Yeah.
And they were high fat, but they were high carbs, but I was still throwing them in, right? So now I'm cleaning up my diet because I see, right? And I'm taking those tater tots out and putting more oatmeal, just so I'm replacing those calories with even healthier food.
Right.
So
You just dial it in even more.
yeah, man, I know it's only 2 weeks, but how long can I stay on this?
So 90
Or
days.
anybody.
90 days is what you want to stay on MK the longest, because your body will start building up a tolerance, desensitization to the medication. So at that point, like what we do is we move from MK, and then we move into another GHRH, which might be an injectable, it might be hexarelin, it might be CJC, or it could even be IGF-1.
Okay.
Right? But that would require blood work for IGF-1. But the other ones do not. So we can move in that route. There's a couple other different ways, like hexarelin is another good muscle building one, right? So when you do that, you can go on hexarelin or CJC, whatever it is, for let's say a month. 30 days, you can go back on MK.
So basically you take two of the peptides and just cycle them.
That's it. That's it. And some of those other peptides, you don't ever have to cycle.
Right.
Like hexarelin and all that, that continuously hits the pulse, hits the pituitary.
So why did you give me the MK and you didn't give me the other one?
Because the other ones don't stimulate the G-relin, the hunger hormone, like MK.
Okay.
MK is the only one that stimulates the hunger like that.
Got it.
They're all supposed to stimulate G-relin.
It sure
they are.
did.
The only other compounds that I've ever seen work just like that are injectable are not around anymore for us to get. It was GHRP2 and GHRP6.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to mix that with semarelin, which we still have. And at that point, those would work synergistically together, but you would get ravishly, just like MK. I remember taking my first shot of GHRP2 and 6, and man, just like MK, I was like, oh my God, like I've never had any feeling like that ever. I've never been that hungry in my life. That's why, I take all these different therapies before anybody else does, because I want to get my spin on it.
Of course.
What's my experience? So I can talk to you and say, hey, listen, this is what I experienced. Not just, this is what the literature says, right? So when I took it, I was like, oh my God, like this is insane.
Yeah.
It is, and then I would do little test runs. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I took this in the morning. Great. I was like, let me go and eat all day, and then let me take it. And let me see if it still has that boom effect. Right. I need to eat again. And it definitely did. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like I tell people, I'm like, I don't care if you go to a Chinese buffet and you get 2 or 3 plates. You take MK, 15, 20 minutes later, you're probably gonna want to go up again.
That's exactly what's happening here.
So
that's exactly what's happening.
I mean, that's it's really insane. It's awesome. And like I said, not just stimulating hunger and getting the calories in, but you're talking about IGF-1 going up. Everything moves with that. Everything. So, there's
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's just one tool in the tool belt.
Yeah,
and we got many tools to go through.
I never would have thought. I never would have thought.
I'm super happy.
And it's because I trust you,
yeah,
right? It's when I came in, I'm like, hey, give me some direction. And you're like, take this. I'm like, okay.
I promise you I'll never steer.
You got me. I'm sold.
I promise you.
I'm sold. You give me in a paper bag, I'm taking it.
But yeah, so, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming down here and stuff like that. At that point, we're going to go get some more content. Let's wrap it up.